Hello, this is Peter with another video. Today I thought I'd do an update on my kumquat tree, which I've had in the greenhouse. Now kumquats have this reputation of being difficult to get to flower and fruit, in the UK at least, due to having higher heat requirements to get the fruits to, get it to actually flower and actually set the fruits. So I think when I last did an update of this and some of my other citrus in the greenhouse, it was flowering at the time. I think that was about the end of June. And since then most of the flowers dropped off, but as you can see here it has got a few small embryo fruits set on it. We have a very small one here and then a slightly bigger one there as well. So 3 that I can see so far. And then I also noticed this other flower bud forming here in the last week or so. So I thought that was quite interesting to see that it's decided to flower for a second time this year. But yeah, it hasn't really put on much growth this year. I think just a couple of shoots here. So I would like it to put on more growth ideally. But I'm not going to take these fruits off as they're only quite small anyway, so I'll just see how they turn out. I have no idea if they'll make it to ripeness in time before it gets too cold. I know the kumquat is pretty hardy, at least relatively speaking, for citrus anyway. I don't know how it compares to some of the other citrus I grow, but it's supposed to be hardier than lemons and limes at least. But in the greenhouse I shouldn't have much problem with the overwintering of these plants anyway. They got through the extremely cold December freeze we had last year, so hopefully we don't have a repeat of that. But even if we do, I think these plants will be fine, especially the kumquat. Yeah, the only problem is the fruits. So last year it did make it through the cold weather, but the fruits did suffer damage. I didn't harvest all the fruits before the cold weather came. I left some on, and those ended up freezing. Most of them got spoilt. Some of them I think were okay. Yeah, the leaves were absolutely fine. There was no damage to the leaves or anything. The main issue I've had with this plant is actually leaf drop due to drying out, because it does get extremely hot in here sometimes. In fact, I did have an issue the last couple of days because we've had some really good weather recently, at least for this time in September. But because of that, I ended up, most of these leaves on my figs were drooping. Some have actually dried out and dropped off. You can see banana's not looking too happy. Some of these figs down here, you can see you've got crispy leaves now. I'm not sure if they'll be able to recover now this year. Yeah, some of these citrus leaves here have dried out in the heat, and that was my mistake for not opening the greenhouse in time. By the time I remembered to open it, it had already been cooking in here for a few hours. I think the temperature reached well over 40 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it definitely got very hot in here to a point which would have been fatal if I had not opened it sooner. Luckily though, this kumquat is actually usually on the floor. I've moved it on the shelf just to be able to make this video, and it stays a lot cooler in that location, so yeah, it wasn't a damaging temperature for it. And yeah, so it seems, at least for this variety of kumquats, grown in a greenhouse in my location in the northwest of England, is sufficient to get it to produce some flowers and hopefully fruits. Of course we'll see as the plant gets bigger in coming years how these fruits develop and whether they should hopefully set more in the future. Yeah, this is kind of my experiment because I wanted to eventually get the Miwa kumquat, and I wanted to see how I could manage the much cheaper plants before spending more money on a more expensive variety of kumquat. So yeah, overall not doing too bad. Obviously had some snail damage or something here. I think I need to feed this as well. I've not fed the citrus in here for probably about 3 weeks or so now, so probably due a feed. But yeah, we're probably going to have to cut back on the feeding soon, as we're going to be heading into cooler weather once we get later into autumn. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll be sure to keep you all updated on how the kumquats develop on this plant, as well as all my other plants. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.